Welcome to the Immortal Recaps. This episode we are going to talking about another wonderful English movie. The video begins at a facility with a scientist named Lena in a containment cell speaking to guys in hazmat suits while a big crowd gathers outside to listen in. Another guy, Lomax, is asking Lena about a recent trip from which she is the only one who has returned. Lomax claims she and her team were gone for months, which Lena claims seemed like days or weeks. She verifies the deaths of two of her comrades, but the fates of the other two remain unclear to her. She has no idea what she has just gone through. We witness something flying through space before it reaches the Earth's surface. It collides with a lighthouse and shortly begins to emanate a peculiar glow. The footage opens inside a facility, where a scientist called Lena is speaking to men in hazmat suits while a large audience gathers outside to listen in. Lomax, another male, is questioning Lena about a recent trip to which she is the only one who has returned. Lomax claims she and her crew were gone for months, which Lena argues lasted only a few days or weeks. She confirms the deaths of two of her companions, but the fates of the other two are unknown. She has no idea what has just happened to her. We see something flying through space before it hits the surface of the Earth. It collides with a lighthouse and soon begins to emit a strange glow. Lena is still devastated by Kane's abduction. However, Kane comes in the house when she is painting. Lena sobs as she embraces him. He has no recollection of where he was or how he got home. Kane takes a glass of water and states that the blood in the water indicates that he is not feeling well. Lena travels in an ambulance with him to the hospital, but they are stopped by federal officials who sedate and arrest them. Area X. Lena awakens in a complex built by an organization known as the Southern Reach. She encounters Drive. Ventress, Jennifer Jason Leigh, who informs her that Kane was part of an expedition into the Shimmer, a region outside the compound that has emerged around the area around the lighthouse in recent years. Kane appears to be the only person to have returned from the Shimmer, since the rest of his squad was reported lost or killed. Kane is in the hospital, but he's dying. Ventress will lead a team into the Shimmer to investigate the source of its energy, along with three other women: scientist Josie Roddick, Tessa Thompson, archaeologist Cassie Shepard, Tuva Novotny, and paramedic Anya Thorensen, Gina Rodriguez. Thorensen greets Lena and asks her to meet the other team members. Lena chooses not to tell them Kane is her husband or that she has a personal stake in the endeavor. The Shadow. The squad enters the Shimmer. The land is largely made up of plant-based creatures. The squad appeared to have no recall of how they arrived after 4 days. Many of their devices, including their GPS, do not appear to operate there. They go further into the Shimmer, recording their progress and discoveries. As they pass by a little hut, something drags Roddick into it and nearly drowns her until Lena dives in to save her. They come across a mutant alligator rising from the water. It creeps toward the squad until Lena shoots it. They next examine the interior of the gator's mouth and discover shark teeth, implying that some type of crossbreeding occurred. Lena experiences several memories from her life before the mission, including her final moments with Kane before he disappeared into the Shimmer and an affair she had with Daniel before he agreed to join the expedition. It is subsequently speculated that Kane discovered Lena's affair, which may have influenced his decision to join what looked to be a fatal expedition. Rowing boats across the lake to get closer to their destination. Shepard rides with Lena. When questioned by Shepard, Lena reveals that she served in the army and that her husband was killed in combat. She makes no mention of Kane being her spouse. Shepard then informs Lena that she lost a daughter to leukemia and shares information about the rest of the squad, such as Thorensen being a recovered addict and Roddick slashing her arms. Shepard continues, no one seems to know much about Ventress except that she has no friends, family, partner, or children. The crew lands to Fort Amaya, a military outpost that served as the Southern Reach's prior headquarters before being overrun by the Shimmer. Lena sees more mutations at the base, including those that are malignant, such as tumors. They discover Kane and his men have also set up shop in the base while they were in the Shimmer. They uncover a camera and see a video showing Kane severing one of his comrades' stomachs to expose some type of mass crawling within in lieu of his organs. As the crew progresses, they come to a skeleton that looks to have been destroyed by something within the individual. The crew begins to feel uneasy as a result of their discoveries. Lena studies a cell sample she collected within the shimmer at night and discovers it is conducting mitosis, but not in the way that regular cells do. Later, she speaks with Ventress, who implies that Kane embarked on the mission to satisfy a self-destructive desire, which she believes is encoded into all human DNA. Kane must have volunteered for the assignment after learning about Lena's involvement with Daniel. Lena realizes something looks to be breaking past the facility's surrounding barrier. Shepard investigates, only to be seized and hauled away by a big bear-like thing. The others are completely unaware of this. The crew begins their journey through the forest towards the lighthouse in the morning. They see Shepard's sneaker and Lena goes deeper to look for him. She returns when she discovers Shepard's wounded body near a tree. The group keeps traveling and comes across an area outside a house with plant formations shaped like human figures. According to Roddick, the shimmer is disrupting the DNA of everything in there, including plants, animals, and humans. They then made camp in the house for the night. Later that night, Lena awakens to discover Thorensen pointing her revolver at her before knocking her out. When Lena awakens, she finds herself strapped to a chair beside Roddick and Ventress. Thorensen discovers Kane is Lena's spouse after obtaining her locket. She has grown paranoid and angry, and she believes Lena murdered Shepard. They then hear what appears to be Shepard pleading for aid. Thorensen rushes to locate her, but the bear thing, with a skull face, appears and hunts the ladies. Its noises are Shepard's dying cry for rescue. Thorensen rushes back in, attempting to kill the bear, but it attacks her, ripping her throat and jaw out. Roddick manages to escape and shoots the bear to death. Thorensen's body is covered by Ventress. Ventress sets out the next day to discover the lighthouse herself. Roddick notices roots and leaves sprouting from her arms at an alarming rate. She informs Lena that the shimmer simply refracted DNA and the signals on their equipment rather than altering them. Roddick goes away and vanishes before Lena can reach her. She has changed into a plant structure, perhaps the House of Light. The lighthouse and the area surrounding it are then discovered by Lena. The desert is littered with gigantic crystal trees and skeleton remnants. The lighthouse is wrapped in a plant-like material. Lena walks in and sees a burnt skeleton against the wall with a camera pointed at it. She watches the footage and notices Kane sitting down, holding a phosphorus grenade and conversing with someone behind the camera. He is heard claiming that he has no idea if he is Kane or who he was all along, since his perception of reality looks to have been distorted. Before pulling the pin on the grenade and blowing himself up, he requests the person behind the camera to look after Lena. The guy behind the camera appears and reveals himself to be a clone of Kane, the same one that returned to Lena. Lena continues her exploration of the lighthouse and encounters Ventress, whose visage is twisting and contorting. She informs Lena that the shimmer is of extraterrestrial origin and that it is about to be destroyed. Ventress's body suddenly disintegrates into a dazzling light that transforms and distorts. It draws blood from a wound on Lena's face before forming a humanoid body for itself. It begins to imitate all of Lena's moves. Lena attacks it, and it strikes back. Lena tries to flee, but the creature captures her and continues to imitate her. She locates another phosphorus grenade and places it in the hand of the creature. She pulls out the pin and walks away as it explodes up. As it is devoured by fire, the creature begins to turn into Lena. It moves about until the remainder of the lighthouse catches fire, causing the trees outside to crumble and the rest of the shimmer to fade away. As Lena finishes speaking with Lomax, we return to the facility. He verifies that the shimmer is no longer present, but Lena has no clue what happened to her. Lomax informs her that Kane awoke hours later, conscious, after the shimmer vanished. Lena enters his room to speak with him. They exchange a brief glance, and Lena says, "You aren't Kane, are you?" "I don't think so," he says, and adds, "Are you Lena?" She does not respond, and they continue to look at one another. They hug, and we see that both of their eyes begin to shine and change hues. Thank you for staying with us. Remember to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.